Okay, so the point of this video is to help elementary school teachers who are teachers of math, as well as middle school and high school teachers who also teach math. You guys can benefit from this video as well. But I want to show you how to use the tool Nearpod to help you with warm-up activities for your math lessons. And to show the different features that Nearpod has. So I already have an account, so I'm going to click right here on login, log in with Google, choose my school, and then you'll see here you have your Nearpod homepage. You can see here these are some of my lessons from last year, but for the purpose of this demo video, I'm going to create a new lesson. So I'm going to click this blue create button and I will click on lesson. And then it will take you to here. You can give your lesson a title. So I will just call it demo lesson. And let's pretend that we're doing a fourth grade math unit on standard units of measurement and converting those different units of measurement. And so let's do some sample slides so that you can see how to go ahead and create different things in Nearpod. Let's start with an activity that I like to do where if you click here on activities, it will take you to matching pairs. And I like to do this as a sort of warm up to get my students' brains thinking, and it doesn't take too long. So let's go ahead and create a few examples. So I could do, for example, 3 feet is equal to 1 yard. I could do 10 millimeters is equal to 1 centimeter. I could do 36 inches is equal to 1 yard. I could do 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter. You'll also notice that you could add an image. So if you are doing something like science vocabulary, for example, you could put a vocabulary definition on one side and add an image on the other side. So let's do one final one. Let's see. 100 meters in 1 kilometer. And then I'll go ahead and click done. And we can say click on the matching pairs. That will show up to the students. And then I can press save down here at the bottom. And that will create my first slide. Now let's go ahead and I'm going to show you the Draw It feature, which is one of my favorite features to do during math. So I'll come back here to add content and activities. I'll click on activities and I will click on Draw It. And you'll see over here that there are some pre-created Draw It libraries, but I usually just like to create my own. So at the top here, students will see the question and be able to draw directly on their screen, and they have the option to change line colors and change line widths depending on whatever math activity you're doing. So let's do a sample here. Let's practice conversion. So this is what the students will read, and I'll say how many inches are there total in 4 feet 6 inches, and I always ask them to show your work. And so then I will click the save button down here, and that creates a new slide. Sometimes on the Draw It feature, I like to give my students a timer. And okay, sorry, my video got cut off, so we're gonna add back. So the next thing I'd like to show you, one of the features that I use frequently on Nearpod is the timer. And so I do that often with the Draw It slide. So I'm going to create a new Draw It slide. And let's do a sample question of the python is 49 inches long. The viper is 3 feet 10 inches long. Which is longer? Show your work. And so I will usually add a 2-minute timer. I found that that amount of time seems to be good without having the warm up take too much class time. And I always tell students that the timer is not to stress them out. It's really to just help them know how much time they have to show their work before I'm going to move on to the next question, or before we go ahead and share out, which I will explain more of that later. So the timer feature is really easy. So I go ahead and save. If for some reason you wanted to delete a slide, it's really easy. You just control and then you could delete down here. I would like to show you something else that I also like to use on the Draw It slide. And what that is you can add a picture to the background. So for example, I did this with area and perimeter. Here is a background picture to help with one of the questions I want the students to do. So you can see that I'm trying to show them that this flag is 1 yard. And I could tell the students the problem. Jayon is decorating for the 4th of July. He wants to hang flag banners around his fence. He knows that the fence perimeter is 72 feet long. When he gets to the store, the flag banners measure 1 yard each. How many banners does Jayon need to hang around the perimeter of his fence? And again, I would ask students to show your work. So that could be great. Again, if we think about science, for example, maybe I want to have a picture of a flower and have students label the different parts of the flower. So I would have the flower be my background picture, and then students could just write directly on that on their Nearpod slide, and you would have a sort of quick check for understanding as we go. So I'm going to save that, and what you can do is, let's see, there we go, it's hiding. I can click on preview down here to see what the students are going to see on their iPads. So here's a student preview. Oops, it started at the end, but this is what the students will see on their iPads. So that's kind of a nice little feature. And then when it's time for the students in class, so I'm going to save and exit this. And when it's time for students to participate in your Nearpod lesson, you're going to click here on live participation, and the students are going to join with a code. So I am going to pretend to join on my iPad as if I were a student. And then it gives me the option to, okay, let's try this one more time. So on your teacher view, you will see a list of students pop up. And since this is for the matching pair, if I quickly do the matching, you can see how many students got right. And so you'll see I got 5 out of 5 as my test student. If I click here to go to the next, so you can see in real time what students are doing, which is really awesome. So if I'm trying to do 4 feet 6 inches, I could show 4 times 12 inches equals 48 inches plus 6 inches equals 54 inches. Then on the student's iPad, they click submit and it will pop up on here. So you'll see a bunch of little rectangles of all of your students and what they've done. And what you can do as the teacher is when you click on it, if you press share, it will broadcast that out to all the students' iPads. And then what I like to have the students do is pretend this is my test student, is I might have another student explain this student's thinking. I might have this student themselves explain their thinking to others. I usually give them the option to edit if they realize they did something wrong. But so this is a great feature when you share because all the students will see out on their iPad. One other thing that I find that comes in handy is down here when you click hide student's name. If I'm projecting this up on the board, I don't want all the students to see who did what in each rectangle, so I'll hide their names when they're working, just so that there's not really competition between students. And when I'm done, so I'll go through my different questions. Oh, here's my timer, so you can see I start the activity. Students have a countdown. There's the image, and that's all I have for you guys today. So thank you for watching this screencastify about how to use Nearpod as a warm-up activity in your math lessons. Thank you. Have a great day.